Well, hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in to the Calvary Chapel Salmon podcast. And before we go on, I just want to say that we really do appreciate you tuning in to the Calvary Chapel Salmon podcast. You know, Hagen, our listeners have lots of choices when it comes to podcasts. And I'm just always so...
Everyone's got a podcast these days.
I'm just so amazed that they would choose to take some time to listen to ours. They don't have to. You know, at this church, we don't force people to listen to our podcast.
That's right.
We could say, if you really want to be a member of this church, you need to listen to it weekly.
Yeah.
But we don't. And so people listen. And I know people will listen because they'll say, Jordan, what you said on that podcast?
What's wrong?
I don't agree. It's like, well, at least you're listening. So thank you.
If you like and subscribe.
Yes,
fine.
that's the main thing. But we're here back at it again.
How was Disneyland?
Oh, happiest place on earth.
Really?
Yeah, it was good. It was good overall. We didn't get to do California Adventure. Those people who know Disneyland will know that Disneyland's kind of two parks in one. Kind of like Jesus. He's human and God in one. But there's California Adventure and there's Disneyland. Last year when I got to go to Disneyland, we did both. We did 2 days.
So you're kind of expecting that again?
Kind of. I mean, Disneyland's fun, but it doesn't really have those thrill rides. I'm a roller coaster guy.
You want a place that has the name Adventure in it.
Yeah, I want the speed, the action. And Disneyland has a lot of slower, older rides, kind of nostalgic. Pirates of the Caribbean, this very slow boat ride through all these like robots, pirates, and it's cool in its own way. It's just not like a whoa.
Wow.
So,
What was
You
your
been to
favorite part?
Disneyland, Josh?
I think so.
Really?
Yeah, probably.
I was just kidding. You were pretty little.
If I did go, it's probably when I was 3.
oh wow,
But you loved it.
sure, it's a
Maybe
fun
You should go
place.
again. When Jordan goes next time, he can take you.
We'll see.
Next time we go, we'll probably have our baby. So, and you guys might have your other baby by then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be pretty
It's
fun.
meant for kids.
That is true. Yeah, it's kind of why it's not so. It's kind of made for like grandmas and families and everyone. Small World. Don't get me started on Small World. It's the worst ride ever. That's the only ride there's no line for it. It's because no one wants to ride it because of how lame it is. And just going through these rooms with all these creepy doll children singing about
It's
how
a small world.
we all need to get along and kumbaya. I think it's a pagan idea.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What was your favorite part last week?
Probably just getting to spend time with Avery and her family. You know, the rides were fun. Space Mountain's always a highlight.
Ends to a means, right?
Yeah, oh, it's just good.
More about the experience.
Yeah, you know, I just enjoy hanging out. The food wasn't, I know I'm being negative, but yeah, I just have a high standard for Disney. I believe in Disneyland. The food wasn't as good as it was last time. I feel like that kind of went down, but the food's still good. You still get like this mango, it's called Dole Whip. It's like this mango ice cream thing. It's super good. And I got my
Slushy type.
I got my mozzarella cheesy bread, which is really good. It's not your typical chicken tenders and French fries that you get from most amusement parks. It's usually pretty good, but it wasn't quite. There's just one thing that was kind of disappointing. So, but yeah. How was your guys' week back
We
here?
survived without you.
Good.
Didn't we, Joshua?
Yeah. I thought about
Missed you.
calling you. Missed you a little bit.
Aw, Josh, I missed you a little
Didn't want
bit.
to interrupt
Well, anytime
anything.
you miss Jordan, he's only one call away.
That's
So
right.
Never hesitate. to
Yeah.
reach-
Well, when you were in Africa, I was kind of missing you. I was like, oh, Josh is usually here.
Mm.
Well, today we're going to talk about marriage. Josh is going to solve everyone's marriage issues today, right, Josh?
We'll see.
We'll see. Got some good things lined
Are we
up.
going through Genesis 2 or no?
We could.
As well, I mean.
Would you like to go through Genesis?
I don't even know where we're at. Do you?
I think 13 or 14.
But if we can.
No, I think we can just jump into marriage because I think we could like do some other passages on marriage and
Okay.
talk about it.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, usually I can't talk too much about marriage. I have all these things I want to say, but I wouldn't want to bring it up with just me and Hagen. So I'm really glad Josh
Good.
is here.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Hagen's not that mean.
Hagen's a marriage expert, which is ironic, but it's true. Hagen has lots of wisdom when it comes to marriage.
Yeah.
Well, what do you got, Josh?
Let's just go into it. See what you have on the questions. I don't know.
Oh,
where we
bet.
are.
Okay.
I wasn't here
Yes.
last time.
Perfect.
Remember how old you were when you got married, Josh?
How old were you, Josh, when you got married?
I was 28.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a young guy.
Yeah.
How long ago was that? 2 years now or 3?
3. It'll be 3 years next month. So guess I'm 31 now.
Next month?
June, right?
June. It'll be 3 years. Are you
Did
confused?
we get married in we got married in the same month, right?
Same year. Probably the
We
same
got
month,
married
yeah.
June 30th,
Yeah.
and it'll be 3 years for us.
Yeah.
And when did you get married?
June 10th.
Oh, I guess you only got married
20 days early.
I guess you only got married 20 days apart. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I thought it was farther apart than that.
Right in this room.
Yeah.
It's one of the only weddings I've ever done in this room.
Wow.
I think I've only done 2.
I've been there for both.
Yeah.
The one was really small.
Yeah.
That was a good one though. I enjoyed that. I figured you'd want the questions, so I have them saved here. Just give me 1 second. Okay. Let's see. Question number 6. How important, and if you're curious, we did the other 5 questions
What are
2
these
episodes
questions
ago.
entitled?
I think they're just good questions about marriage. I think that's kind of the idea. Yeah, marriage questions.
Did you come up with these
No,
questions?
these are from AI. I
Oh.
asked the most asked questions about marriage.
Grok or
Most of them probably Grok.
Okay.
Grok is probably the most Christian AI there is out there. I would say so. Don't fact check me on that.
I haven't heard of it.
Okay, good. How important is spiritual unity in marriage?
Are you looking at me?
Yeah? I'm looking at you. Spiritual unity. Do you think, not to call anyone out, maybe our vice president says he's a Christian man, and I don't doubt that, but he's married to a Hindu
I think
lady. He's Catholic, she's Hindu. It's like, that's interesting.
he also changed his name like 4 times, which is a little sus.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
No.
He's changed his name like 4 different
Well, what
times.
was
Legally.
like doesn't JD stand for something?
N-
When I hear someone's name JD, I assume their name's like James or something.
yeah.
Yeah,
He's changed it a lot.
that's a little
And he changed
concerning.
it, I mean, I like him, but there are some weird things about him that's like,
Yeah.
why did you do that?
So how important is it, Josh, for a
I think
couple
it's very
to be
important.
yeah,
Yeah.
same religion?
Yeah.
Maybe we go a step beyond same religion to same level of commitment to Jesus.
Yes.
You don't want to have someone really be on fire for Jesus and the other one be a nominal,
Yeah.
just
What
kind of wishy-washy
passages
Christian.
cover this topic?
Well,
You ask a question?
Yeah. I asked what passages cover this topic.
don't be unequally
This
yoked.
question,
Yeah. Which is in 1 Corinthians somewhere. But then also what we talked about recently with Abraham and Lot. I forget if you were there for that or not.
I don't think so.
Yeah, but Lot kind of had a worldly mindset, and Abraham had a heavenly mindset, and it wasn't good. They parted ways. The rough part about that is once you're married, you can't part ways. It's the one relationship you can't part from. So it's like, ooh. So you're kind of stuck with 2 people going in opposite directions, and that will literally put strain on the marriage. Some people say my marriage is strained. Well, it's probably because you're going in 2 different directions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So how do you go in the same direction?
Well, that's to many people who wish they could force their spouse to go to church and love Jesus more,
Yeah.
and you can't.
Mm.
So, yeah, people say you don't want to do the job of the Holy Spirit. I think that's a mistake sometimes people will make. They'll try to make these plans. Well, if I do this and we go to this service or we go to this event, then he'll fall in love with Jesus more, or she'll fall in love with Jesus more, and it's like you can't plan this kind of thing. So you can just pray for them. You can try to represent Jesus to them as best as you could.
And definitely prayer would be a good place to start.
Sure. Yeah.
And if you can pray together, that's even better.
Yeah. And it's just important to make sure it's hard because sometimes people marry each other and neither of them are saved, or both of them are nominal Christians, and then one starts taking it seriously and the other one's like, why are you taking this so seriously? It wasn't so important before we got married. So they can maybe feel like you're changing it up on me. So that's kind of a hard situation. But if you're serious about Jesus, make sure you don't marry someone who's not serious about Jesus. Yeah. I don't know, Hagen, what do you think?
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
I think you have just different people. It's like, I'm just thinking of people listening. You have people that are not spiritually unified for whatever reason, right? But then you have people who aren't married yet. So it's like, for these people, the message is marry someone who loves Jesus just as much as you do. But for those who are already married and find themselves in a situation where they have a spouse that they don't see eye to eye spiritually, it's like, yeah, how do you like exist in that?
Yeah. Would you agree with the idea or the statement that usually the case is that if the husband gets super serious about Jesus, the wife will generally just follow and start getting serious about Jesus? But if it's the wife who's super serious and the husband's the one who's not, sometimes that's when there's a lot of friction. I feel like it's more common for the wife to be more on fire.
I'm trying to think about people that I know.
Yeah. I feel like, yeah, I don't want to overgeneralize. But, like, usually, I feel like if the wife submitted well, that's yeah, sometimes. But it's just, like, I think there's, like, an effect where if, like, the guy gets saved or the guy starts taking it seriously, most women are like, "Okay, I'll go along with this."
Mm.
And yeah, 'cause men are naturally yeah. Even in secular marriages, like, if the guy's, like, really into it, like, leading the family, the wife will usually go along. But then it gets messy if it's the wife who starts taking it and, like, she wants to lead the family to go to church, and she wants to be the leader spiritually, but the guy's not into it, and there's kinda like that. There's, like, friction there, would you say?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that Joe Rogan's wife started going to church with his kids, and now he goes.
Mm.
And I can think about that
Sure.
that's true
Yeah.
of a lot of situations where the wife faithfully was apart for quite a while, and then the husband
Eventually, the
slowly
husband, yeah.
yeah.
Don't marry a Hindu person.
I saw, I'm teaching through Judges to the Bible class, and we just started Samson.
Mm.
And he's a Nazarite. He's not supposed to go to vineyards, but where he finds his first wife is he goes down to the vineyard. And the point I was making to the kids is he gets his wife in a place he had no business being in the first place. It's like kind of really pushing that on these young
Don't find your wife at the bar.
You have no business. He has no business being there anyway, and now he's found someone that he's married to, and she ends up deceiving him to get the riddle.
Yeah, and this is before Delilah.
Yeah, this is just the first.
Yeah, he should have learned.
Yeah, it's like if he just would have not he knew better. He had no business being there. He's supposed to be a Nazarite, and yet in his compromise, it just created greater problems. And just for people, it's like, well, it's like, what did you expect to find in your compromise except more compromise?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Next question.
How did you meet your wife, Josh?
Here in church.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Was it more through the young adults group or no?
That's probably where we got to get to know each other better.
But you were aware of her before then?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, here at church, yeah.
That's how it always works. People find each other as young adults and they stop coming.
Yeah.
I can list probably like 3
We
people.
went through a season of that.
I'm too old actually now.
Oh, I know. I'm not blaming you. No, I say I can list a lot of people who that's true of. They just met young adults.
Yeah.
And to go along with that question, to be spiritually kind of one in marriage, is that funny?
No, I was just thinking about the young adults right now.
Oh, okay.
The only really boy bachelors are Jordan, the other Jordan, and Sammy. So those poor ladies.
And now Carson. But no.
Oh yes, Carson. Oh yeah, I guess you never know. We'll see what happens. Keep going.
I think I heard on the radio, and I don't know about the statistics or if it's true, that for, couples who pray together regularly, not necessarily every day, but, on a routine basis, like less than 1 in 1,000 will get divorced.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's true, but I
What
thought that
radio
was
station are you
interesting.
listening to?
That was quite a while ago,
Oh.
so it's a different one than I
Yeah.
normally listen to
What do you
now.
listen to now?
CSN, but I don't drive as much, so.
I don't know if it's 1 in 1,000. I'm not doubting your source. Well, I am kind of. But I do know for a fact, because I was curious about, because people say, well, 50% of marriages end in divorce, and that's true among Christians too. And it's like, is it really? Like, you look it up, and it's true that it's the same among Christians, but if a couple will go to church together once a week, their chance of divorce is cut in half.
What if they go twice a week?
Then I think it gets even less. Yeah, I don't know. They don't. Yeah, then when they ask these questions, they don't go that deep. But it's like the people who actually go to church together, their chances of divorce is way lower than your average person.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a little misguided or misleading when people say that divorce is just as true among Christians as non-Christians. Because it's like, yeah, well, but 90% of America or 80% of Americans say they're Christians. So it's like, yeah, of course, it's going to be the same.
Yeah. To Josh's point, I think spiritual unity, is that what it was called?
Yeah.
Question? Yeah, I think the way that you can become so it's like, say you have two people that just get married. You both believe in Jesus. You both, want what God wants for you, but now you're together. It's like, how do you get heading in that same direction? How do you get that spiritual unity, even though you're both equally yoked now? And I think praying together is a great way to do it, because like God will start laying things on your heart together. And I don't know everyone's situation, so I don't want to talk too harshly, but I bet you'd be shocked how uncomfortable certain couples would be if you asked them to pray together. People who come to church regularly. I want you to pray with your wife for the next 10 minutes. It would freak a lot of people out, I think, because they don't like that's just such a foreign concept to them. They're not actually doing it regularly. So I think that's a good point.
Yeah, and praying together, you can see each other's heart for God and
Sure.
kind of what's on your heart to be talking to God about. So it's good to definitely pray together and talk about God's word, whether you read it together often or in your own devotions, but talk about what you thought and what you've read or what's on your heart. So
yeah, that's true.
Not that going to church is the only thing, like prayer, God's word, and church. Those are all important. Because going to church is good, but it's you just show up maybe. But like prayer is you're talking to God. You could do it anytime.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting that you can know so little about the person you're married to. I feel like 'cause sometimes it's like that's why it's super important just to like have those questions like, oh, what has God been showing you recently, or even like what have you even just been thinking about recently, and that kind of leads into spiritual stuff naturally. But if you never ask those questions, you're just living with this person, and it's like, yeah, they're doing their thing and I'm doing my thing. But if you like are intentional, then it's like, oh, this is what they're going through. This is what's going through their mind. This is what God's showing them.
Yeah.
And that's a tool. And this is how I take the principles and I apply it to my own life in my current situation. But that's a tool I can use, because whether if it's a marriage or if it's like a ministry team, like how do you get unity? Like one is praying together. So it's like us praying together Sunday morning. I'm trusting that as we faithfully do that, that'll help unify us more in vision as we move forward in this church. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like in the same way that it works for a marriage, but it works in other areas as well.
Yeah.
Well, next question is, how should finances be handled?
Spend it while you got it.
Whoa, that's good.
I think it's important in marriage to do finances together, to have one goal financially, not
One bank
separate
account?
one bank account, but not necessarily only one bank. But
If you have another really great opportunity to get
whatever
some
bank,
CDs and
you might
some
have
other bank
bank
accounts.
accounts in different banks, but all of them are in both names. Shared
Yeah,
So like
accounts.
my money, your money.
Right.
Our
Like
money.
you earn your money, I earn my money, you can spend yours, I can spend mine. To come together, like look at all, like what's your income? Definitely giving is a priority first, whether or not if you're going to have enough for the rest of the month. I think it's important to give and to be on the same page about giving. Same on finances, accounts, and a spending plan seems to be a very good thing to help free up kind of like what you can spend on and where you're at financially.
Yeah.
So I think it's a very important thing
Mhm.
to talk about and communicate.
Obviously, Dave Ramsey talks a lot about this idea of combining finances. I was like, I'm bringing him up. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. He's a little,
comes across
but
that way a little bit sometimes.
on his calls, he can be a little harsh. But sometimes the truth hurts.
Yeah.
But sometimes in his calls, people will say like, "Yeah, me and my wife have a separate bank accounts," and I'll like Venmo my wife for rent, or I'll or she'll Venmo me for groceries. It's like you're Venmoing.
That seems crazy.
It's like that's ridiculous, but that's just normal life for some people. It's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, let me do my half of dinner tonight. It's like, what?
Right.
It's like you're married. You don't need a Venmo. Let me Apple Cash you. It's like, no. It's like it just seems like it get really messy and really complicated really
I mean,
fast.
should have the same house, the same,
Yeah.
vehicles. Like should be able to share and work together
Yeah.
on that. 'Cause
Usually
I
when
want that
people don't, that's when
separation
secrets can come up. It's like, I'm spending my money on this thing over here.
And since you brought up Dave Ramsey, I like to listen to Rob West with
Okay.
FaithFi, which is like short for faith and finances.
Yeah.
He's very
Nice.
considerate, and he brings up a lot of Bible verses to go along with what he's talking about.
Cool.
A slightly different approach, but a biblically minded way of looking at finances and financial plans and everything.
Yeah. Definitely.
So I think like the leading cause of
Divorce
fights or divorce
is money. Yeah.
problems in marriages. So the importance of going in the same direction, having a similar vision, sharing finances, like that gets rid of the biggest issue.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can actually do that and do that well, man, something that's hard sometimes when I talk to people, like, and maybe Josh, you can have some insight into this. It's like these things will only happen though if you do them.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's this idea like they're just going to drop out of the air, and it's like once we've been married for a year, then we'll actually figure finances out, or once we've been married this long, then we'll finally head in the same direction. It's like unless you're intentional, like you're not going to accidentally do it. Right?
Right.
You have to intentionally do it in order to make it work. And that's true for anything in life. Like you're not going to accidentally start doing a bunch of pull-ups. You got to be intentional about it.
Yeah, it's probably best to talk about it. Like for those who aren't married yet, talk about like how do we want to do finances when we get married.
Yeah.
But if you are already married, probably now is a good time to start.
Yeah.
Not like next year.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's like, what can you start doing literally today?
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, could you go to the bank today and have a joint account if that's completely foreign to you? It's like, yeah, you could go right now. Go do it.
Mhm.
Start today. So do you? I don't know if this is too personal, but like, do you and your wife both have a debit card to your bank account, or is there just one debit card? And if she needs it,
No, we both have cards.
Yeah.
We both have credit cards too.
Right. Okay.
Because I know Dave Ramsey says to get rid of the credit
But your
cards.
guy who's very
But
nice. says it's
other
fine.
other thoughts are maybe that debit cards are easier to steal remotely.
That's not true.
But not sure. But not that, don't go beyond the credit. Like if you pay it off every month.
Sure.
Gotta get
there's
those
different
points.
ways, then you can get interest on the money or in your savings account that isn't spent until you pay your credit card. So we still have, cards to the same account. Yeah. All our accounts are together, and certain accounts don't need cards. Like certain savings at certain banks I don't use as much, but they're together.
So if, for instance, after this podcast, it was like, let's the three of us go out to lunch, right? You are sharing money with your wife, right? But it's like because you use the term spending plan, not budget, right?
Yeah, budget's kind of like a diet.
Okay.
And it's just
it's
a spending plan is like this is what money will
But
go
it's like
towards
you could have
this.
some freedom to buy something. Like I need to ask my wife if I could spend $20
No, because
on
we
lunch.
have it set aside in
Right.
a way, not necessarily the envelope system, but digitally, like there's something set aside for our fun money. I could go out of that for that, or maybe extra things if it we don't want to take out of the food budget because we spend a lot on food, not necessarily going out to eat, just different
Groceries.
groceries.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like there's freedom to do that because there is some there.
And then it's not weird because it's like if you did choose to use some of your fun money to buy lunch today, it's not like at the end of the month your wife isn't like, "Why did you blow $20 on this?"
No, it comes out of my fun money.
Because
Yeah.
we already decided it's okay. If I'm gonna blow that on
Yeah.
ice cream or Burger King or
There's the ice cream budget.
I can do that.
And let's say I have 25 left for this month, I don't know. And let's say I spend 30 today. Well, that's okay. I'm only going to have 20 next month if I get 25 a month. I just took out of
your allowance.
Well, I took part of next month out already if I spend too much.
But if you don't spend it all in one month, you lose it the next month.
No.
It's not
no.
You can bank it.
If I have 20 left at the end of the month, well, I'll have like 40 or 50 next month.
Sheesh.
Yeah. So it's freeing.
If you over
FaithFi.
They have their own app. Is it free or?
There's a version that's free, and then there's a higher version if you
next to your account. I'm guessing, right?
Probably, and that's $35 a month.
Is that what you get?
And then you get we just get the free one. It's not in our budget right now. Pay for the app.
So every time you do a purchase, you have to put it in the app manually?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes it's on the email. If you use the card, they send you an email what you spent. So,
but a person could do it on paper pretty simply, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the app's cool, but
you could easily do it on paper.
You could either Excel sheets.
You could start with what do you get in each month.
Out there.
It's best to look at gross income, and then you give, and then what do you have left after that? You can put in different categories, and it might take months to adjust. It's like, whoa, we spent more than we thought on gas this month because it's $4.50 a gallon.
Sure.
Or what if it's $5 a gallon? What was it in California?
$6.
Yeah,
over $6.
So it's like, well, we need to adjust that, and we didn't spend as much as we thought on, insurance or whatever, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, we need to adjust.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh no, we didn't follow the plan this month. It takes months, and you have to constantly adjust. Or
that's true.
At the end of the month, you spent more on gas, but you didn't spend as much as you thought on such and such. Well, just use some of that to kind of even it out.
Do you guys kind of have a monthly spending plan meeting where you kind of sit down and look at everything and kind of adjust it for the next month?
Beginning of the month. And sometimes, get busy. It's like this month we'll just not do it, but
we'll just do it like last time.
Yeah, but
if it works, it works.
Keep adjusting it. And another thought is there's different things to think about in marriage that I didn't think about before. Is like life insurance. Like what would happen if I pass away? That's just a thought to be together on too. It's like, what is it worth? Like term life insurance, maybe just for 30 years, so that if while the kids are growing up, something happens.
Sure.
There's not a financial burden. Or what about retirement? Could we set some aside? And that's good to think about together and kind of look at, especially when you first get married. And not necessarily financially, but having a will. We did that too after we got married. And
once I have my kids born, I'll have to get a will. I told myself that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you talk real quick about your attitude shift between being single but now being married and the importance of this? Because you were mentioning that earlier to me.
Yes, definitely. You mean finances?
Yeah. So what was your attitude when you were single?
When I was single, it was like, I don't want a budget or a spending plan. That's going to be too constricting, and that won't be any fun. And I didn't really keep save that much. And it was just like, I could just buy whatever. I don't have to talk to anybody.
Sure.
Not that it's bad to have to talk to someone. Just like I did whatever I want. And then it's like, I never really knew how much I spent on this or that or the other thing. And then once we got married, it's like, let's kind of look at this, do a plan. And it was mainly by listening to FaithFi on the radio that really got me thinking more about it. And it's been really good.
Nice.
Does that answer?
Is that on CSN?
No, that's not on CSN.
Is that on YNOP?
It's yes, it is YNOP. So there's certain programs on each one, like the financial issues on CSN. I'm not a fan of how they talk.
Yeah, but because they're a little mean too, or whatever, rough. But here's whether if it's Dave Ramsey or whatever
FaithFi.
The good thing, like what's more important than the plan is that you have a plan, I think, and that both of you can kind of be on the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, whether if it's a Dave Ramsey more style or this kind of style or whatever, like that you're getting two people together. This is kind of the language, because people don't even use the same language when it comes to money sometimes, which can be hard. But this is kind of the language and the rules that we're going to use in our money world. And it gives you just like this commonality to then kind of have something to work with instead of the Hagen plan and the other person plan. Because then we're just playing by our own rules.
Right.
So it kind of just creates this environment of here's a skeleton for us to build upon.
Mm-hmm. And it might be kind of like scary. What if it's like, we know we don't make enough, or there might be some debt. It's still better. It's best to come together and look at all that. And then, of course, pray about it.
Yeah.
Because let's say there isn't enough or there's some debt to deal with. You pray about it and, God will provide if you're, seeking after him and putting his kingdom first.
Yeah.
And giving, I think a big thing is giving to start with. And that's where you see
Were you
big
raised
blessing.
that way?
What way?
Giving. So as a Mormon, I've always tithed growing up. Like, so it's very easy for me to have this idea of giving 10%. Like my whole life, I was raised with that as a kid. If I got birthday money, it was like I learned to give 10%. So then translating that over into like truth, real Christianity, that's a principle that's very easy for me to do. The people who aren't maybe taught that or raised with that. So like, did you have a structure of that even as a kid that was modeled for you and you're exercising it?
Yes.
Or not till you
and it wasn't.
were an adult did you figure that out?
No, as a kid, I learned that, but it wasn't like mandatory for us. Like what we earned, it was like, you better go give 10%. It was just something I saw that my parents would do and talk about.
He did in the unlegalistic way, Hagen.
Then as I grew up, when I was on my own or, working, I actually didn't do 10% for a long time.
You did 20.
No, I actually didn't keep track. I didn't know exactly what percentage it was.
As the Lord led.
In a way, I would just kind of give, and it was
You're
quite a
pretty
bit, I would
spiritual.
think. It was probably, 10% or more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would just give.
Which is fine, because nowhere in the New Testament does it say that we have to give 10%.
But whenever you're doing like a spending plan, it is actually good to start with a percentage.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it's not necessarily only 10.
Sure.
There's different ways to do it. Like I like to start with 10 and then another half of that towards different things, depending on what else the Lord leads. But it's nice to at least have some set aside, even if it's more than the 10, for like someone needs something or you go to a benefit. It's like, oh, we already have some, what I maybe call extra giving set aside.
Yeah.
And you don't be like, oh, where would this come from? It's just like, we have it in there. Let's just use, $100 for this or $50 for that. Or you find a need or there's, support for these orphans, when we do the Christmas thing. It's just so freeing to already have that also. But that could be part of the 10% if there's no rule. But there's just different ideas with that.
I think just as important as having a plan or a budget with your spouse is to be able to communicate the vision of your money with your spouse. Because if you just, not saying that I've done this, but you just kind of be like, hey, this is what we're doing for our money and here's the plan. It can feel kind of like, why are you trying to micromanage me? Like, am I doing something wrong? You can feel like you're just kind of forcing the person. But if you're able to communicate, hey, we're going to do this with our money so that we can do all these things in the future. And here's the why behind the plan. Then it's less of like trying to control the other person. It comes across much more of like, oh, we're in this together. Here's our vision. And this is how we're going to get there. And I feel like if a person, especially like a guy, could just be like, hey, we're doing this thing. And here's Dave Ramsey's plan. And we need to follow Dave Ramsey's plan. It's just like, but like the why is super important. Like, we want to save this money so that we can go on this trip, so that we can do this thing of our house, and it's just like casting the vision. I think it's just as important. Yeah. You ready for the next question?
Sure.
Okay. Ooh. Are you ready for this one?
Well, wait, one more thought. The last question.
Okay.
Just a couple thoughts about not necessarily with marriage and finances, but whenever you do like retirement plans and investing, there's different ways to go, but there's more like Christian organizations that do that try to invest in more biblically minded investments. And I think that's one thing to consider when you like start a new plan is to try to invest your money in something that's not going towards
Bill Gates.
bad things.
Yeah, like all your
like
tax
abortion or whatever. Yeah, like that. But using that towards something hopefully good. And then there's also other like Christian banks like Adelphi and Christian Community Credit Union.
Bank of America.
And that also uses
That's not Christian.
uses like what's in your savings account, hopefully towards better things like missions and churches, rather than who knows what with those big banks.
Sure.
And some of those do give better interest rates too. So that's just a little,
And if you sign up under Josh, he gets a $100.
Oh, there is a way to do that, but I haven't actually taken
So I haven't
advantage
thought too much about that.
of that. Yeah,
Is your
So-
interest in this unique financial opportunity? Please talk to Josh.
You're right.
can't think of much else to prolong the next question.
No.
What's the next?
Well, let's just talk about it. I think it's important. What is the role of sex in marriage?
Sheesh.
Wow.
Only for reproduction.
Some people would say that.
That's right.
Some people would say that. I may be wrong,
Sheesh.
but yeah.
What would you say?
I think it's for unity, like we talked about.
Okay.
You can
Boredom?
No. What?
Like, so you're not bored.
Interesting. No, I don't know about that.
I don't know.
Yeah. I think you can tell, maybe Josh can relate, but if you're like not feeling particularly close with your spouse and then you're intimate, afterwards it's like, oh wait. You naturally it just brings you closer together, and then you're able to have a better relationship in all ways after that.
Mhm.
Would you agree with that statement, Josh?
Probably. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. So I think it's a tool that God's given
Mhm.
couples to be on the same team and to continue to love each other. It does produce children, which is cool, which is a blessing.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's how God created in His creation was for marriage
Yeah.
and oneness, and
It's not a bad thing.
no, not a marriage.
Yeah, not a
Otherwise it is.
marriage.
And there's a lot of things where this is always good and this is always bad, but in this situation, it's like this is good in marriage, but it's bad and not in marriage.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Are there many things like that?
That's kind of unique.
Yeah.
Where it's like bad all the time. If someone would put it like fire.
Sure.
Higgins said that before. It's like fire. Fire is bad in lots of places, except for when it's in the fireplace. Then it's a very good, helpful thing.
Yeah.
That's right.
So we want to keep it in the fireplace.
It's also like a vending machine. Cindy Howland taught me this.
What?
Once you put that coin in and type in the thing you want, there's no going back. Like sexually speaking. And she, I think, was telling me how she's sharing this with her grandkids. It's like
That's an interesting thing to share.
that idea. It's just like there's just no rewinding. There's only deeper.
Oh, like if when you're dating, yes, you can't rewind.
Right, you can't go backwards. You can't go forwards. You just
Yes,
start moving. Yeah, so
that's very true. Song of Solomon 9:4, I think, says, "Do not stir up love before it awakens."
yeah,
Don't stir up love before it's time. So when you're dating, there's ways that you can stir the other person up to move in the direction, but you don't want to do that. You don't want to awaken love before it's time. So don't be doing things that stir each other up.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll just read 1 Corinthians chapter 7.
That's
Some would
good.
say it's kind of the sex passage in the Bible outside of Song of Solomon. We'll see if you have any thoughts on this. Now, concerning the things of which you wrote to me, it is good for a man not to touch a woman. Nevertheless, because of sexual morality, let each man have his own wife, and let each woman have her own husband. Let the husband render to his wife the affection due her, and likewise also the wife to her husband. The wife does not have authority over her own body, but the husband does. And likewise the husband does not have authority over his body, but the wife does. Do not deprive one another except with consent for a time, that you may give yourself to fasting and prayer, and come together again, so that Satan does not tempt you because of your lack of self-control. But I say this as a concession, not as a commandment, for I wish that all men were even as myself, but each one has his own gift from God, one in this manner and another in that. But I say to the unmarried and to the widows, it is good for them if they remain even as I am. But if they cannot exercise self-control, let them marry, for it is better to marry than to burn with passion.
Sheesh.
Interesting stuff in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any thoughts on that? I like how it says that the husband doesn't have authority over his own body, but the wife does, and the wife doesn't. Like, it's kind of like a mutual surrendering where neither one really gets to say, hey, like, I'm in charge here. It's like, no, it's just a mutual surrendering and a mutual trying to please the other person.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's important. That's a good mindset to have.
Yeah.
Yeah. It says here that Paul wishes that everyone was like him. What does that mean?
Probably strong and handsome.
Wow. No, single, which is interesting. Because sometimes I think in modern Christianity,
We're going to disagree with this. I can't wait. Go. Yes.
What?
No, I think we're going to disagree. Say it.
I think we can like put an over. I don't know.
Overemphasize the words of Paul.
No, overemphasize marriage. Like say that put marriage on a pedestal.
I agree with that.
Yeah. I think that's why I was like, I think we agree. I was looking to word it. Like I think it's like marriage is good and marriage is important, and all that is really good. But I guess I think people would get uncomfortable with the idea that marriage isn't for everyone.
Yes.
Do you see that?
Yeah, especially in like a conservative homeschool type of upbringing.
Yeah.
There can be a lot of this like judgment of like, and it's just like this thing of, it's like this progression of life. Like it's supposed to be like, you graduate from high school, you get a job, you get married, you have kids. So it's like, if you interrupt that, then people think something's wrong with you. And any stage, it's like, if you're married, it's like, you've been married for a year and you haven't had a kid yet. It's like, chill. Like, where's this pressure coming?
Where's this rule that you have to?
You've been married for 2 years and you have one kid. Why don't you have your second kid yet?
Yeah.
And it's like, chill out.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know where these things come from.
Yeah, I agree.
And there can be this pressure, social pressure in some circles of like, you're doing it wrong. And it's like, don't worry about that.
Yeah. I mean, we joked in high school and in Bible college about the gift of singleness, but it is a gift and some people have it. And it's interesting because like some people will figure out like, what if I have the gift of singleness? And it's like, I don't know. I think if you have the gift of singleness, you'll be okay with having the gift of singleness. I think that's part of the gift.
There you go.
Is that you're able to accept the fact, like, you know what, I'm not going to get married and that's okay. And that's part of the gift that God gives you, where it's just, and Jesus was never married. Jesus never had sex.
There you go. That's true.
And he was still a completely perfect human being. He did not lack in anything.
Yeah.
So to have a completely full, satisfying human experience, you don't need to have sex.
Sure.
Because then you're saying that Jesus lacked something. You're saying that Jesus can't really understand me or relate to me because he didn't experience this. So like, well, in a way, sure, but it's still not like that's not like everything to being a human. Yeah, we can put sex on like it's like it's like it's for marriage and it's good when it's in marriage, but it's not like it doesn't make you more human. Yeah, it's not like people can do this where they make it a core of their identity.
Sure.
It's like this is like me having this is like so important,
Yeah.
and it's like it shouldn't be that important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any thoughts on that, Josh?
Yeah, just on like whether or not someone should stay
Yeah.
single or get
Yeah.
married. Getting married is not wrong,
No,
and
no.
staying single is not wrong. But what's best is to pray and seek God's will for your own life in that. And I think He has a plan. If you should be getting married, and for what He has for you in life, where you're going to go, whatever you're going to do, marriage can be a real useful thing serving Him. If you're going to help, kids, foster kids, or adopt, it's probably best if you're married. And that could be something for someone when being single could be what God has for someone else.
Sure.
Yeah.
So it's probably, not good to be like, everyone should just stay single. That's what Paul just said. Or everyone should get married.
He just says he wish they would, not that they should.
Right.
He says, I think it would save you a lot of trouble.
I think there's this big thing too that I see a lot. It's like, there's a crisis in the church, like young people are waiting longer to get married or something. It's like, I'm not sure that's a crisis. I guess it depends on what these young people are doing.
That's true.
If they're going on mission trips and they're serving Jesus and they're involved in church and like, that's okay.
Yeah.
It's not like they need to get married in order to be a better Christian.
Mhm.
Like, as long as they're serving Jesus in whatever state they're in, then I don't think it's a crisis at all.
Yeah.
So,
Although, I don't know, again, I don't know how to word this. Usually, there is some truth to this, that if you have two young people who like each other, but they're Christian, there is kind of a factor where they'll kind of want to get married really quickly because they're not being intimate, but they want to be intimate. And so that will kind of, and I'm not saying that's bad, so that will kind of push them to get married fast. So sometimes the assumption is, well, if they're not wanting to if there's no rush to get married, well, maybe there's something going on where it's like there's that push, that drive to get married quickly isn't there. Which I'm not saying is always the case, but that can sometimes be people's assumptions, and that sometimes is the case in our modern world.
yeah, that is true as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like we've been dating for 4 years and we've been engaged for 2 years, and it's like, you must have really a lot of patience. You must have a lot of self-control. It's like, I don't know. It's like, yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it's just like, huh.
How long were you engaged, Josh?
We were engaged for about 3 months.
Yeah.
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 Which I think is a normal good time.
Figured out things. Waited till the last week or two to really plan everything out. So
I like it. That's a good way to do it. Let's see.
2 more questions.
I think so. We can go for as long as you want. How do you keep? We kind of already answered this. How do you keep a marriage strong long term? What we said already.
spiritually, I think is the place to start with that,
Yeah.
and prayer, and God, seeking God's direction in your marriage, and oneness, and all these kind of like we talked about.
Yeah.
Different aspects.
Communication and liking the person before you have kids with them. It's probably a good idea.
That could be good, yeah.
Because I think sometimes people have kids and that's their whole world, which is good because the kids need you. But then when the kids no longer need you, you don't like the person you're married to.
Yeah.
I think that statistically that happens a lot.
That seems
to be the case. So maybe there's something good about not having not that there's anything wrong with having kids right away.
Sure.
But there can also be something good about just like, okay, we're just gonna enjoy this season of life where it's just us. And yeah. I think that's good. Well, let's see. Last question. This is kind of an interesting one. What role should love versus commitment play? And I'll read the thing underneath it. Is marriage sustained primarily by emotional love or by covenant commitment, regardless of feelings? That's a silly question. I'd say both, right? Like, you don't want to have a marriage where it's just like, I'm only in this because I made the deal and I have to be here. But you also don't want to have a marriage where it's completely just based upon, well, I'm only with you because I like you right now, and when I stop liking you. So you kind of want both, right?
I'm a little bit lost on the question, but that's okay.
Yeah, I don't know. How else do you explain it?
Yeah, are you staying married because you love the person, or are you staying married because
you made a commitment to the person you have to?
Yeah, you're in a contract.
Right. The
answer should be both, right?
Like,
I'm married to this person because I love them and I really like them and I do have those emotions toward them. But also, even if those emotions aren't there, I'm still going to be committed to them.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's pretty easy. Rock drop. Yeah. Hey, you know what they say? Marriage is pretty simple. I don't know. Well, let me ask you this, Josh, because you've been married for almost 3 years now. Do you see, because people talk about like there's like the honeymoon phase, and they're like, well, watch out, because and people tell me this, like, you've been only married a year, so like the honeymoon phase is ending, and that's when it really gets hard. Have you kind of noticed that, or do you still think you're in the honeymoon phase, or do you not think like that?
We were told by certain people that the first year is the hardest.
That's true. I was told that as well.
And then some people say that the first year's easy, I think. So it's like, I don't know. We didn't know what to think.
What are you telling me?
We probably would more think that the first year was harder
Interesting.
because you living together, you're figuring out the differences on how you do things around the house, just what you're used to. Like I was single and living on my own
I was gonna say, I think
for
that's a big
years.
deal.
That's hard because
Mm,
I did whatever I wanted
Yeah.
and I cooked
For
whatever I
like
wanted.
at
I
least
cleaned
10 years
however
of
I
your life, right?
yeah.
From 18 to 28, you kind of did what you wanted.
Yeah, I was on my own.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it's, different.
mm,
Yeah.
And it wasn't bad, but I would think I think for us it was hard, we had to get to know each other more because we met about a year before we got married, I would
mhm.
think,
Mm,
if I'm thinking clearly.
probably, yeah.
Yeah, because we started dating in probably November and then got engaged in March. And so we were, we're talking in the summer before. So there was just a lot to think about and talk about, and it wasn't bad at all. But I think it's as time goes on, you you're more friends.
Mhm.
It really depends on the marriage, I think.
Yeah.
Because some people might get married and they just like each other, and then they get married and then they realize, well, we're not similar personalities. They could even
Mhm.
be opposites. I think in our marriage we're similar, and
Mm.
that is a lot of peace because of that.
Yeah.
And opposites could be good too, and
Sure.
that could be really good, but I think it would be harder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So in a lot of ways we're similar, and as the time went on, it's been good.
Mhm.
I don't remember the question.
No, that was a good answer. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, the honeymoon phase whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't
like,
think
I
we're
mean
still in the honeymoon phase.
Mm.
If
No, when you
that's-
have a kid,
yeah,
yeah,
we're
and
about to have
another
our second. So
yeah.
there's all these different things,
Yeah.
And it makes sense how, like, I mean, if you, like, grew up with this person, you've known them for, like, 5 years, and then you
Mm.
marry them,
Yeah.
like, your friendship with them is gonna be different
Mhm.
as opposed to not knowing them all that long, and now you're married to them, like, yeah, just knowing them as a person and as a friend and
Mhm.
growing in that, so that
Mhm.
makes sense how that
Yeah.
first year could be harder.
Although I would say with that, I feel like sometimes people would say like, "Well, I need to date this person for like 5 years," or like, "Why'd you marry a person you only met after a year?" People would maybe say that,
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
a good
like,
question.
well, you're never gonna know that. Like, you're still learning new things about your wife.
Mhm.
You're still learning. Like, you're still learning as you get closer, and you're never going to be able to like really learn everything about that person until you get married. So I'm not saying just marry a complete stranger.
No, not at all.
Don't do that.
Spiritually,
But like,
you should be
yeah, but
on the same
know those facts, know those spirit, like know you're going in the same place spiritually. Know you got the like do the checklist, and once they pass that checklist, it's like, well then yeah,
What's
you can.
on the list?
There's a
I
lot of
think well,
questions.
money, like what we talked about, money, making sure you're on the same place, money, spiritually.
List didn't you got?
We did have quite a
How
list.
long was it? 101?
I think
Oh,
about 100
did
questions.
she get every single one?
No, it
She
wasn't
asked
my list.
Oh,
It was a list that we talked about. It's like topics to go over,
sure.
and we talked about them on a first date. But that's more of a, we were dating.
Interviewing each other,
Well,
kind
we
of.
were dating with the whole idea that we would want to get married. It wasn't a awkward subject, but I think it was the first date. But maybe you're right. It wasn't like, what am I saying? You probably want to, let's say you want to get married and you're dating.
Okay.
It should be because you want to get married, not just because you want to date. So that was our thought.
Yeah.
Mm.
We just want to figure it out because also it's like, let's say we decide now we're not for each other. We don't want to date for a couple years.
Sure.
So we went through a lot of questions, like spiritually, like our walk with God and, probably financially and just a lot of different questions I think is good to go over. And you don't have to do it on the first date.
Mm.
I don't know if that's a good time to do it, but to talk about these things so that you can decide whether or not you should get married. And then, also as you get closer, once you're engaged, really talk about, or before you get engaged, a lot of different topics so that let's say you disagree on a lot of those things, maybe question whether or not you're supposed to be
Mm.
Mhm.
married, I would
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such as even things like, if I remember right, because I think I've seen the list.
Okay.
Yeah, they were like, it was a wide variety, but maybe, and a lot of these questions can come up, I think, sometimes when premarital counseling, but it's like, where are you going to spend holidays?
Mhm.
Like, who's
Mm.
family? How often do you see in-laws?
Right.
That's an important question.
Are you going to homeschool kids? Like, you could have drastically different views on this
Mhm.
and just think, we're going to make babies and figure it out. And
Right.
it's going to be, you're going to have real problems. So you can start talking about that even before you decide to get married,
Mhm.
of knowing where that other person's at, just so you know. Because the expectation might be, we're always going to spend Christmas at my mom's house. Of course, it's my mom.
We're always
Right.
never mind.
And it's no. So that person's got to get that out of their head, and you can start working that through then, instead of each Christmas is the worst time ever because the other one's sad they can't be with their mommy and you're happy.
Yeah.
So it's like,
It could be come
gotta
up with a
work
plan
through
maybe
that.
like every other Christmas.
Yeah.
Not that we did that, but there's a lot of things to cover. And also it shouldn't be like, well, we're talking about things that we would do in marriage, but we haven't decided if we want to get married yet. Like a lot of people get married. Marriage isn't this foreign concept. You shouldn't be like,
Yeah.
oh, we can't mention the word marriage,
It's not,
especially
like,
if you're
taboo.
dating and you're thinking about marriage. Just talk about it and you're like, ooh, we would not get along on like half these things. I wonder if we're supposed to get married.
Yeah.
Because it'd be better to just be like, yeah, no, and not get
Thanks.
married.
Nice to meet you. See you
Yeah,
later.
it's okay.
Yeah.
They can get married to someone else. There's no huge
Yes.
problems. It's okay. So there's I think a lot of things to go through. But what is that like once you're married? I guess I don't know where that goes.
Yeah. And yeah, I would say maybe this is offensive to some people, but it's like if you're just dating a person for years and years and years and years and years, I would almost say you're wasting time because you're not going to really be able to start getting to know that person until you get married. I think marriage is when you're really able to get to know that person on a deeper level. So I think it's okay once you get those basic checklists off of like, okay, in-laws, money,
Kids, how many kids,
and religion. Once you get those like 4 or 5 boxes checked, you make sure you agree on that and you like the person, it's like, just marry them.
Sure.
Yeah. And if you both love Jesus, it's like, if you're both committed to him.
I think, religion is a good one, to
Sure.
start with. Let's say you're both not Christians,
Yeah.
but you have the same religion. It's not, I think you can have a stronger marriage if you're both Christians.
Oh, yeah.
Like, marriage in Christ is a stronger thing than just because you have the same
And
religion.
I'm not saying just get married after a month or something. Like, you want to be able to see their relationship with Jesus and not just have them tell you about it. Which I think you
Maybe
guys,
even take them on a mission trip.
that would be
that'd be
interesting.
crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. See their relationship with Jesus. But once you do see it, once you know, it's like, okay, this person's committed to Jesus and I'm committed to Jesus. It's like, well, what are you waiting for then?
Or tough
Just to make a
circumstances,
little more
maybe
money.
doing a few things
it's like
that
people
aren't
have all their
easy.
reasonings.
Different, you could do, different things, let's say everything's just easy when you're dating. You don't do you don't spend much other time, just fun things.
Sure.
Like what about difficult things? How are those going to be together?
Sure.
Because I think there's always going to be difficult times in marriage, difficult things you go through.
Yeah.
Kids crying, different things. Like what do you?
Yeah. But you can't prepare for most of those things.
In a way, like you can prepare like spiritually, like if, trusting God about your kids.
Yeah. I'm saying like before you're married, you can't prepare for how
difficult.
Yeah.
because you don't know what you're going to walk through. But I think there's
You can know
so
the
much
tool you're going to use when the situation arises, but you can't prepare for every situation, right?
Right.
Yeah.
There's different probably ideas like before you're married and you want to talk about like what if we disagree on something? What could we do? Like, okay, let's say there's a big disagreement. Let's pray and read God's word and worship him and then, and talk about it. And I don't know if, that's something we've done, but we like think about it before you get married. There's different things. Like, what are we going to do if this happens?
Yeah. Yell louder.
Not necessarily.
Well, a lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah. I just think it's a lot of fun to be young and get married. I think it's cool. Yeah.
It can be cool.
Yeah. And I see that with my friends who've gotten young and married too. And it's just like, that's cool. You just get to spend all the time with your best friend and you live your best friend.
Okay
and
if you're not too young either.
No, yeah, that's good. I'm not saying that.
Young.
I'm not calling out anyone. I just think there's a lot of value. And sometimes people can maybe attack that idea,
I would like, Josh, you should say this because it'll sound better from you than me. I am so grateful for how this will almost sound psychobabbly, but like how much of me I know because I've just been with me.
Sure. That's
Like
interesting.
being single for 28 years. There's some value in that, isn't there?
I think
And
so.
being able to be married because you know what singleness actually is.
Mhm.
And I actually think this is true for you, Josh. I've never said this publicly or
Whoa.
privately.
Well, let's hear it.
I think in a certain level, you have the capacity of appreciating marriage greater because you were single for so long. And I believe that can be true for me one day, in the sense of because I did just get married. Like, I know what life is like to be alone.
Yeah, I think
that
so.
when you're
I agree
not
with
alone,
that.
you can like appreciate it a little better. And then, yeah, do you know what I mean?
I
Like, recognize the
exactly
blessing
understand.
of it more.
Yeah.
So, not that there's anything wrong.
No,
No,
I
no.
just there's value in both.
That
Yes.
that life experience of a different experience can give you another kind of value.
Sure.
And that's the thing, that whether if it's marriage or kids or whatever, and it's true when people say something like, and you can now amen this and you'll be able to, I guess, people say, I never understood the capacity to love until I had a kid. Right.
Mm.
And I believe it's a different capacity than any other capacity.
Mhm.
But again, it's not like someone who never gets to have a kid maybe can experience a different kind of capacity of love that's even greater, or not even greater, but just different.
Mhm.
And there can be this thing of like, if you don't have this same experience as me, then you're missing out.
Yeah.
And that's just not true.
Right.
So
Yeah. I think it's just the attitude you don't want to have is, my experience is better than someone else's experience because it's different.
Yeah.
It's like, well, if you're both married, like there's cool things about both, and you want to see the value in it no matter what. Yeah. Unless you're living in sin, there's no value. Wasting your life.
Yes.
But there's still hope if you're living in sin and you're like listening to this. Like, God will,
God can redeem the time.
redeem and
the years the locusts ate.
still have a good plan for your life, but it's time to seek that direction and plan.
Sure.
And you can help others, as you grow in Christ, who maybe are in the situation you were in.
Mhm.
So, like, that wasn't just
Oh yeah, it's not wasted. God can use it.
but
Yeah.
it's definitely not where you should be.
Yeah.
It was not like, oh, it's better that you did that.
So
but
maybe like remorseful, but you don't regret, or you don't feel guilty. Is that right?
you shouldn't live in guilt.
Yes, I agree.
I agree. And
Christians have no place of living in guilt.
no,
They have no right to it.
Amen.
Amen.
it is selfish to live in guilt.
That's right.
Thinking about yourself. And I've thought of that. My personality could tend to live more in guilt.
You could actually.
Thinking,
You're hard on you're your biggest critic, right?
I think so. And,
yeah,
and then it's
you
like,
are.
that's not how.
That's not true. I'm your biggest critic.
Oh, good. We have a good one.
I'm kidding.
How does God view you? And one other thing, this doesn't have to do with marriage. I just
That's
wanted
okay.
to say this. A lot of people say, "What would Jesus do?"
Okay.
And there's the
bracelet, yeah.
all that. And I think it's different than what would Jesus have me do than what he did, because he's God. He went to the cross and died. We're not supposed to go and die on a cross physically.
Yeah.
That's what Jesus did. He did a different thing. He's God. He could go, do these different things. He has a plan for his creation, he lives in us. What would he have us do? And it's different in certain areas for different people. Of course,
Sure.
Loving him and loving others is the same. But what Jesus would do in every situation, there's a different, he's God.
I was thinking about that recently because like Jesus never had to say sorry.
Right.
But we're supposed to say
Go
sorry.
up to someone and say, forgive me, I wronged you.
Yeah.
We
But we're
are
supposed to do
called
that. Yeah.
We
You'd
don't.
spit in the dirt and rub it on your eyes, but maybe you're not supposed to.
Maybe
do
not. Maybe
Yeah.
that was something for right then.
Yeah. But he has something for you right now.
He does.
So what does
And
Jesus
for everyone
want
listening.
you to do?
Yes.
Good point.
What would Jesus have you do? Or what would Jesus want me to do? If
Should
you're
we
thinking
make
of it
bracelets
personally.
that say that?
What would Jesus want you to do? What would
there's
Jesus
basic
want?
things,
WWJWD.
it's laid out in the Bible, like, we pray, we seek him in his direction, but there'll be individual things too, which is cool. God has a plan for each person.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Josh, what's your last piece of marriage advice that you have for the people, anyone listening who's married? Yeah. What do you think? It can even already be something we already said, but what do you think is like your biggest piece of marriage advice?
I think the first thing to do is pray together in marriage. And not saying reading the Bible is not important either, but you can start with prayer.
Sure.
That's,
Yeah.
I think an important thing. Not saying it's the most
Yeah.
important thing, but it is.
Hagen, what would you say is the biggest advice you can give to someone who's single?
Probably to start with prayer.
Yeah.
Yeah, same
Good.
answer.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just to be not to sound selfishly, but just to enjoy it.
Enjoy it and be content where
Yeah.
God has
You're
you.
good at that, Hagen.
I was told that when I was single.
I'm not
Be
joking.
content, where God has you,
You're not joking.
and enjoy the time, because once you are married, you're married. And I see that now. Like I see all that advice that was really good.
Yeah, and that's such a hard thing to communicate to someone, especially as someone who is married, to someone who's not married and really wants to date and get
It's
married.
easy for you to say.
Yeah. It's like, no, enjoy being single. And so I think it's cool that you are being single, are able to say that and like able to appreciate the joys of being single. Because they're like, yeah, it's like I'm happy I'm married. Like I'm glad that happened. I'm glad that it's all great. But it's like for a certain person in my mind, it's like having a conversation with them. It's like maybe like just like I don't know what's so wrong with just not having a girlfriend right now. Like just enjoy it,
Yeah.
And for some people, it's just like they can't. And it's just like, huh?
Yeah. It is like, huh?
Yeah.
And there's Bible passages and verses.
Or do not seek a wife.
Yeah, but what I was gonna say is
Yeah,
what I
but
was gonna say is they cover all these questions. They have something and we didn't get into all of those, but
no,
there are.
we didn't share the Bible. We just shared our opinions.
No, we did. But that was a lot of. There are.
Yeah.
Bible passages to go over on all these things.
Like I always say, do not seek a wife, but Proverbs says, "He who finds a wife finds a good thing
and obtains favor from the Lord."
Amen. So don't look for her, but find her. Don't look for her, but when you find her, great. That's how I like to think about it. And it's easy for me.
There you go.
Which I'm very aware, like it's easy for me to think like that, but I think it's true. It's like I wasn't looking for Avery per se.
There you go.
I just kind of found her.
Thing everyone says. As soon as I just surrendered it over to God and quit looking, the next day, there she was.
Amen.
It's like I hate it when people say that. It's like that's the dumbest thing.
Well, maybe you need to surrender.
That's not it. Yeah.
That's. Well, I think it's
trying.
I think it's true for some people.
There she was.
I think it's true. For some people, that's how it works.
Yeah.
Even though you don't like it. I think it's the truth. Wow. Well, cool. Any other closing thoughts?
What do you think of those little Jesuses, Josh?
Oh,
a lot
you
of
probably
different
don't
colors,
like them.
actually.
10 different colors.
10, right? Or 12.
Yeah. Wow. Little
I
Jesus.
could see. I like them. But it's also kind of like, I don't know, how cute and little do we want to make Jesus?
Right.
Yeah, it's just like, like there's a point where it's like this is too jokey and yeah, I think they can definitely be used, and we've seen that they can be. We have a testimony that they can be used, but at the same time, it's just like it's something you kind of like laugh at and be like, oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
And less of like, oh, this is Jesus,
Yeah, and then you like give it to someone, but it's like what is the person receiving that thinking Jesus is?
Just this little guy who loves you.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bit of context.
Yes,
maybe.
And like the Word of God can speak to our hearts more than a figure. And how do we know it's Jesus too? I like to think of him as a disciple of Jesus.
Wait, what?
Does it say Jesus on him? I haven't seen.
I don't think so.
Does it say Jesus on
a
the
disciple of Jesus?
Josh prefers to see it not as an idol of Jesus, but maybe like a disciple of Jesus.
Interesting.
Yeah, like this is Peter, this is John, this is Thomas.
That's a good way to think about
it. That feels more comfortable maybe than it actually being Jesus, right?
Right. Because we don't know what Jesus looks like, but Isaiah 53 gives us a good description.
That's right. Yeah.
And that's not quite it.
Not that I would think if I had to, but
he doesn't look very Middle Eastern.
I guess I haven't really done this. I think doing something is good, but also a Bible verse on maybe a cross could also explain who Jesus is. and come into your heart more.
Yeah.
But I don't know how you'd fit a Bible verse on a cross, especially if it's the size of a little Jesus.
Sure. Yeah.
But it is a thought, and
Yeah.
if you explain who Jesus is, that's a good thing too. Not that they don't, but I'm
Good point.
That's a good point. It reminds me of this quote from the song. I want to find it. That Middle Eastern thing.
Oh boy.
This is good.
I was going to quote a Josiah Queen song last night at the men's Bible study, but then we got out of that rabbit hole, so I wasn't able to share it.
No. It says there's a Middle Eastern man with holes inside his hands, and he's out to get you.
Is that a worship song?
Yeah, it's from Gable Price and Friends.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
And he's out to get you.
a Middle Eastern man. We don't really think of Jesus like that. A Middle Eastern man with holes in his hands, and he's out to get you. He wants you.
That's nice.
He loves you. Yeah. Well, that's good. Well, I'm glad we solved all the marriage problems in the world. If you're listening to this and you still have marriage problems, it's your fault.
Most things can be solved simpler than it seems. Would you both agree?
I would agree.
I mean, it's like you can complicate it in so many different layers, but the solution is simple, whether if it's one little thing or a million things piled on top of each other. It might feel like it's harder to do it, but the solution is simple, actually. Maybe.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking about that verse that we talked about last night, how Jesus died for the sins of the whole world, and how that kind of goes along with the verse that said, he's not willing that any perish, but all come to repentance. And in Ephesians, there's 2 places that where he chose us before the foundation of the world. And I was just curious your thoughts on that. And, God chose us. He died for the sins of the whole world, but then we have to choose him.
Yeah. That sounds about right.
Yeah. About right. What would you add to that?
No, that's perfect.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it's kind of I don't know if romantic or dramatic. It's like a dramatic, cool idea. I don't know if cool is the right word, but it's just sort of like a crazy idea to know that Jesus died for people who he knew would never accept him. Like, that's how much he loved them. That he died for them knowing. It's like in like I don't know, like in a movie or something where it's like you're chasing after this person even though they'll never want you or whatever. It's like this I don't know. It's just like this very dramatic idea.
That makes the atonement useless. That makes the blood worthless.
No, it doesn't.
Like, where's that idea come from? Nowhere in the Bible is this idea that unless the blood is received, if the blood is not received, then it's no longer valuable. Like that idea just gets made up.
Yeah.
Like literally, I have no idea where that comes from.
They make it up.
It just gets made up, and it's like so.
Yeah, I think it's cooler that it's like, it's like you can take the most precious thing in the universe and waste it for yourself. Yeah.
The work has already been done for us.
Yeah.
We just have to choose him and believe in him.
Facts.
And he's grieved for anyone that doesn't accept him.
Yeah. Yeah, he's more grieved because it's like, he already paid for it. It's not like, well, I didn't pay for you.
Right.
So I'm actually not upset because I actually didn't die for you, so I only kind of made you think I did, so you would say yes, but I actually never even wanted you.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, no, I already paid for you, and you're rejecting that. That makes it even more. It makes it even more of a. I guess the word tragedy. It makes it even more of a tragedy.
Sure.
Yeah, that's a better word. We don't really even have words to describe what Jesus did for us.
That's right.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
Well,
Okay. See you guys later.
Okay, see ya.
Bye.
Bye.